All right, so our final speaker of the 9 weeks, we are joined today by Jameikia Mosley, realtor, salesperson extraordinaire over at Community First Real Estate, who also is a licensed cosmetologist. So quite the combo. We got a room full here with us at Velma Jackson High School, and we're recording this for our friends at Germantown, Ridgeland, Rosa Scott, Madison Central, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. And we're in the marketing, sales, and service career cluster, which Community First Real Estate is a huge part of here in the Metro Jackson area. So thank you so much for joining us today.
And thank you all for having me. That's impressive. So I'm wrapping it up. Oh, I feel like I gotta come with it now. So I'm wrapping up you all's semester, huh?
Yeah, the last one of the 9 weeks, spring break starts
Okay.
Monday. So
Okay.
because obviously, we said you are a real estate extraordinaire over there at Community First, and Misha is a friend of the class.
I am.
Um, uh, Tell us, you're from Jackson, started out in cosmetology, transitioned to real estate. So tell us about that because it is a very interesting path.
It is an interesting path. So, class, I am a product. I'm a product of Jackson Public School. I went to Baylor Magnet, and I graduated in 1995. So let me just tell you, the way the cosmetology came about, when I was in the 10th grade, they offered us a chance to take a field trip to go to what's called the CDC, the Career Development Center. It's over in West Jackson. It's behind Provine High School. Still there now, but a group of us went, just starting out as going on a field trip. Didn't think we would end up signing up. So in 10th grade, we went over there, took a field trip, and then we later had the opportunity to sign up. And so the interesting thing about Baylor, when I was there, I went to Baylor from the 7th through the 12th grade. So I haven't seen these same people. And some of them I also went to elementary school with. I also went to Davis Magnet with. But fast forward, just to see some fresh faces and meet other people from all the Jackson Public Schools, because the thing about CDC is offered to all the JPS. So I was told a friend, I was like, girl, we ought to sign up. They had more than cosmetology, but I said, let's just sign up. We can sign up and take cosmetology. We probably not going to be cosmetologists, but it'll give us an opportunity to get a trade for free and meet other people. We'll get to see other people from all the other schools. So therefore, so we signed up. So our 11th and 12th grade year went to school half the day. Then we went to the Career Development Center the other half of the day. My 11th grade year, we went to our school in the daytime. And then, no, let me get it right. We went to CDC in the daytime and then went to our school in the evening. And then 12th grade, it was vice versa, I think. Yeah, we went to school in the daytime. However it was, we went to school half the day, then we went to CDC. And at the end, you end up with your 1,500 hours. Wow. So when I graduated in 1995, I went to the State Board of Cosmetology, passed first time and got my license. So that's how I became a licensed cosmetologist and have been now going on almost 30 years.
That's incredible. And then later, you transitioned into real estate, even though you still dabble in cosmetology.
I still dabble in cosmetology. I can't get rid of it. I have some people, I call them my faithful few. They love me. They've been rocking and rolling with me to the end. So yeah, I still dibble and dabble. I think it's one of those things you'll never stop doing it. I've been actually doing hair so long, just starting out as a child with your dolls and stuff. So yeah, I still do it. And I tell people it has paid well to be a free degree license that I earned. I can't complain about it.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about any trade that anybody might get, because even though we don't have the cosmetology program at our Votech Center here at Madison County Schools, they can still learn those trades in high school, be certified when they graduate high school. If they wanted to go to college or they wanted to work somewhere in another field, that's great. They could still do freelance work and make really good money even on the side. So
right.
That is a great opportunity that I hope.
It's always good. Class always have options because things change. The economy change. You can find yourself out of a job. And in that way, if you pick up these trades, you'll always have means to make money. You'll have options.
Yeah. So now, Community First Real Estate, one of the hottest real estate groups here in Ridgeland, and like we said, we've had Misha a few times. But a lot of kids see realtors, all they see is the sign, and and then the pictures of the closing, but there's a lot of stuff that goes in before that. But this is also a great career that you don't necessarily have to go to college to get into, because
You don't.
you didn't go to college to become a real estate agent, and now you're doing well yourself. So
I'm doing well.
tell us about that process of going to the licensing, and then getting with a broker, and then how it works.
Right. So, like he said, you don't have to go to college, but many of us do have college degrees. I haven't even gotten into the degrees that I hold, but I do have degrees. But you don't have to have a degree to be a realtor. All you need to be is 18 years old, have a high school diploma or a GED, pass a criminal background check. You have to have 60 hours of education. I did mine online because I did mine during the height of the pandemic. So the world has shut down. So I was at home most of the time. Anyway, couldn't do anything. So I became licensed in 2021. But yeah, you don't have to have a college degree. But however, many people do. Many people are dual career. You have people in all walks of life, all types of career paths, and they still do real estate.
Yeah, and it's also, if people are interested in entrepreneurship, because realtors are pretty much entrepreneurs within their own brokers, because this is not a career where you have to, some people are great at following directions, and that's great. That makes them a great employee. But what makes realtors different is because they have to take ownership, because they are paid straight commission, which I think a lot of people don't understand. So tell us a little bit about how that works.
Oh, yeah. So listen, class, look, it's a great career path. But listen, if you're not making these sales, you're not going to make the money. Not that I'm telling you to get into it for the money, but if you're not selling, you're not going to make anything. It is commission based. So you got to get out there and hustle hard. You got to put in the legwork. You got to meet the people. You got to advertise. You got to be teachable. You got to listen to what the people want. You got to be, be able to service the client. And our broker, Misha, always tells us, don't service the commission, you service the client. So I think when you always keep that in mind, the clientele will come.
Absolutely.
And good clients will come from word of mouth. So if you do a good service, the business will generate, but you got to get out there and do the work to make the money.
Yeah, and you made a great point there, because obviously with sales, I think sales is the most underrepresented skill in the United States, especially with this age group, because they're all stuck on their phones, and they don't, so many of them, and I'm talking about in general. I'm not just talking about the ones with me that think I'm talking about them. I'm not. I'm just talking about teenagers in general. They want to be on their phones. We as a society have kind of lost that face-to-face contact. But as a realtor, that is so important, because you are not just working for the commission, you are working for the client. And unlike other sales jobs, you're not trying to upsell somebody in something they don't want or something they can't afford. People's homes have to be so specific to their needs, to their income, and there's so many other factors that could come into someone buying a home. This is not something that you really want to upsell into something they can't afford or don't want.
Exactly, because think about it, in a lifetime, some people only purchase one home. So Greg, you don't get many chances to do it. So you need to do it and do it right when you get that chance to get in front of that client. Because like you said, once they buy that one, some may not buy another one. That may be their favorite home. They may, that may be the only home they purchase. So you want to leave a good impression. Yeah, with them. You want it to be a memorable experience.
Yeah, and that also goes back to doing research about what they need, because the more time you spend trying to show them properties, that's more time you lose that you could have spent on your next client that you don't get the commission on. So if somebody tells you they want to live in XYZ size house with XYZ bedrooms and XYZ school zone, you are wasting your time sending them to other stuff, and then you're just driving around aimlessly.
Just driving around.
So many new agents make that mistake because they don't put in the legwork. Because I think a lot of being my mother who she is and teaching agents, she always says so many people think it's easy and just you're going to show up and do it. And it really takes a lot of legwork on the agent's part to listen to the client and meet those needs.
It does, and that's why it's important to have a buyer's consultation. It kind of breaks the ice. Just let you and the client know, give each other a chance before you get to doing the searching. Because once they get to searching, now the excitement sets in. and they're all off track. Things are gonna take a different course. So that's why it's important to do a buyer's consultation. So you can just let me know what you're looking for. Let me know some of your must-haves. Like, let me know the areas you're looking in, because a lot of times, Greg, during the looking process, things change. And I go back, I said, well, I thought you wanted XYZ in a home. Well, I thought you wanted this particular school zone, or I thought you didn't want to stay here because it was too far from family. Because at some point I had to ask them, now, do you just like looking at houses, or are you really looking? Because they'll get sidetracked from what they told me they must have or where they want to have it at. And at some point, yeah. But that's the importance of a buyer's consultation, to give you a chance to get to personally know what they're shopping for. Because buying a house and buying a car, a new bag, a new handbag, a new pair of shoes, it's totally different. So
yeah, and also if somebody wanted to be in real estate, it's something, like you said, it's something that you could do in addition to another job, or if you wanted to go to college while you were doing it. It's something that you could do in addition to going to school. So, so talk about, because you obviously still do hair while being a real estate agent. So talk about how you manage a schedule when it comes to being able to do multiple things and still make a good living.
Being prepared, maintaining a good schedule. Because to do really to do what I do with real estate, the main thing I need is this phone, this computer, and a car for transportation. I could do it from wherever. I was on vacation back here at the end of December, working. Believe it or not, I took a break. I was on that balcony by the poolside, still working. So I can work from wherever. So you're able to, you're still able to, whatever, there's lawyers, there's news reports, there's a lot of people in other career paths, other careers, but they still do real estate. Yeah, it's flexible. That's one of the things I like about it. I don't do well being confined.
Yeah.
And being at the desk all day or sitting still. I don't do well being in sedentary situations. I like to move around. So that's one of the things I like about real estate.
I'm with you on that. Now, one thing that I always preach is that some people say they don't want to deal with any realtors because they want to save the money on closing costs. And that is just, especially, unfortunately, there are still people that take advantage of first-time home buyers because they depend on their ignorance. They will take advantage of a minority home buyer because they think that they don't know any better. And unfortunately, that is a very real problem. So why is it so important?
It is a real problem.
Why is it so important to have a realtor to go back? Because what do they handle?
Because it's important because you don't know what you don't know. And you just going out there trying to buy a home and represent yourself, or go and buy for sale by owner home, they don't have to disclose certain things. So that's why it's important to hire a professional. Hire a professional if you're trying to sell your home, hire a professional if you're trying to buy a home. We're professionals. We've been educated on these things. You don't, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes it's not even worth it in the grand scheme of things to try to avoid paying a professional. They're a professional. That's all I have to say about that. Just, you don't know what you don't know, and you'll save yourself a whole lot of time and heartache and money in the end, because just trying to go out there and be unrepresented and sell something on your own or purchase something on your own can end up in a bad situation.
Yeah, because when it's all said and done, the seller and the buyer have signed a contract, and that is a legally binding document. So if there's not somebody to explain that to you, and to make sure the terms are fair, and once you sign that document, you're on the hook for whatever you signed for. And unfortunately, people have made costly errors because they did not have someone to represent them that was not knowledgeable of the laws that were going into signing that contract.
That's right, because the thing about having a realtor, we have certain characteristics, certain things that we're owed to, that are owed to the client. So we're going to do our best to represent our client and get them the best deal, get them the best price for their home, or get them the best deal for the home that they're buying. There's certain things that we just have to give clients. we have to. So it's important to be represented. I have heard people say, oh, or even people trying to sell their home themselves, trying to do for sale by owner, just to avoid paying I won't call it a commission, I call it a professional service fee. But in the grand scheme of things, that's why their home probably has been sitting there trying to sell it themselves. It's been sitting there probably forever, when they could have just listed it with a realtor and get it sold quickly.
Absolutely. Now, before I get to the students' questions, I think Community First has some of the coolest little marketing schemes to me. One thing Misha always said is that people will remember cheesy. People will remember catchy. And then you guys have done the matching outfits and the cool little phrases. If we're not picking up the phone, you're calling the wrong person. So
you've been watching, huh?
Yeah. So talk a little bit about some of the marketing that you guys have done, because it's obviously worked.
Yeah, it's working. We do it all. Look, Misha has told us, I can remember her saying before, you can't be a silent agent. We're in a time when you have social media, which is a benefit, so you need to use it. That could be a benefit to you. I can remember when I was first building my career from cosmetology, this was way before social media. So I had to get it out the mud, as the young folks say. I had to do people's hair, and we walk around the Metro Center and pass out cards and advertise. I had clients that worked in fast food industry. So I would do their hair for free because they were in the front of people. They were working in the drive-thru, or they were working on the front end of the register at Wendy's or Burger King. And they solicited for me because people was always seeing their hair. So wow. We're in the day and age where we got these computers, and like I say, these phones, it's so much, the possibilities are endless. So yeah, we market. She's always keeping us updated on new photos. And like you say, we all do matching colors, or just the color scheme coincide. That catches people's attention. She's always putting catchy phrases out there. We marketing the professional real estate books. All of our tactics on social media is different. I like to, because of the area, the age group I put that I usually generate. I like to do a lot of reels with music, because I like music. Music catch people's attention. You only got a short span to catch people's attention. People don't want to read a lot. Some people do. Some people are readers. They'll go back. So I will post a lot of things that's knowledgeable that they can learn from. But I realize I have gotten so much business from doing reels. So when I first started, I was on Johnny on the spot. I was doing them daily because I was just starting out. I wasn't as busy, and I got so much business from putting those reels up with those songs. It gets people attention. Wow. And you don't have long to get their attention. So they'll look at those houses and I'll be like, hey, and they'll slide in your inbox, and next thing you know, you got them as a client. So we do it all. We put the feet to the pavement, and we get out hanging signs on doors, or meeting people, or going out to different neighborhoods, seminars. We do that. We'll meet them at the coffee shop. We'll set a post up anywhere. We do it all. It's like, we all have our different ways. But you got to get out there, so they'll know that you're out there, because there are millions of realtors. It's so many they could choose. So you need to set yourself apart.
Yeah, and that's really, and that's a great point, because even, people don't think Jackson is a big city, but it's a very competitive market, and you have to be able to get your name out there and get your company out there and get your face out there, because, and that's the importance of having a great, you got to have a great headshot. So that, you have to invest in, but it really does get you out there and shows your professionalism.
It does. A headshot, yeah. Those pictures, yeah, good headshot make you stand out from the rest. Yeah, professionalism at its best.
Well, I got some questions from the students, so I'll get to as many of these as I can. Some of these are really good. So this first one, this is Jayla Chambers. She's in 9th grade, and she asked, when you sold your first home, what was the feeling you had?
Oh, God, I was excited. Who was the first one? Okay. Oh, yeah, my first one, I was really excited. So let me tell you this backstory. My very first one that I sold, I ended up closing it second, Jalen, but the first one I sold, she was a church member. This was the height of the pandemic, y'all. This is when the interest rates were low. This is when, so now I'm just starting out. It was my first one. The market was so hot, you all, that literally I was showing my client houses. And while we were in the house, showing the house, I get a notification that the status changed. So whereas it was active and available, it went to pending. This happened to us so many times.
Wow.
So I'm literally in the house. I can remember that house now where it was. So I had to tell her, I was like, it was her mom, and her daughter. I said, look, let's go. This one now it's under contract. Somebody literally went under contract while we were showing. So we had looked at so many houses, y'all. And so we was beginning to get discouraged. So what I did, I took about a week or two from speaking with her, where we had been talking, we had been conversing, text or email, but just picking up the phone because I was getting discouraged. So her as a buyer, I know she was getting discouraged. So as fate would have it, I got in my car one Sunday after church. Well, that's when church was still Zoom, because like I said, this is the height of the pandemic. So I said, I'm going to get out here and find her something. I'm going to find her something that is probably not even on the market yet. So I went into this subdivision, and it was new constructions. So I called the realtor on the sign on the outside, at the entrance. I'm sorry. So this was, by now, I think it was spring break. So this was March. But I called the realtor. She was out of town for spring break. She led me to call another realtor that she had working with her. I called the other realtor, and she said, yeah, we do. She said, I think right now we have one available. I said, send me the specs, send me the information, send me the blueprint. She sent it to me, and I sent it to my client. I can remember good. So I emailed it to her, because mind you, I had kind of stopped talking with her because I didn't want her to feel disappointed. I didn't have anything to her. All I was telling her was, we didn't get it. Now it's pending. Somebody beat us to it. I remember sending her the email with the blueprints of this house. So she called me. She said, Jameikia, I think you accidentally sent me. She said, was you trying to send me this? I said, and I was. She said, but it's blueprints. This is a new construction. I said, do you want it? Because what I sent, I think I emailed was like, are you interested in a new construction? So she picked up the phone and she called me. She just thought I had sent her the wrong email. I said, I knew what I was doing. I said, are you in? And she just started screaming. She was thanking and praising God. She was like, a new construction. I said, a new construction. I said, look, I had to eliminate the competition. I had to get out there and find you something that hadn't even hit the market yet. So that was my first sale, and that's awesome. It just made me. It was exciting. It was very exciting. That was a good question. It was a good question.
That's awesome. This is Rashunta Pierce. She's one of our basketball players here. She's in 9th grade. Right. Yes. Okay. What do you like most about your job?
I like the flexibility. I like, I'm a people person, but I like the flexibility because I'm sorry, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. I forgot that when I introduced myself. I'm married, been married. We just celebrated 23 years. We have 2 sons, Maurice II, named after my husband, and then Jameson. He's 11th grader at Madison Central. So I said all that to say, being married, and a mother of 2 boys, I have active boys. They were always into sports and just active. So I like the flexibility. I love the flexibility that I have, because I still get to be there and do things with my children, do things with my husband. We like to travel. So I love the flexibility, and I love the fact I'm just a people person.
Yeah, and that's a huge selling point. That's a huge selling point about the career, because even though you do have to meet clients where they are, you can take a day off when you need to.
I can, but a lot of times I will say, when I take a day off, I'm still working. When my husband was out of town, we went out of town a couple of weeks ago, and we went for a concert, but we were at Top Golf, and I was taking a call, and he said, well, baby, we must not be having enough fun if you're working. I'm like, I'm working and having fun. So I like to be available for my clients, because, they need to know that they can get in touch with me. Because like I said, there's millions of other realtors they could call, but I love, the biggest thing is being able to meet people, like you say, meet them where they are, all walks of life. And I just love the flexibility. I don't do good being confined.
Oh, I'm with you on that. This is Kayla Williamson. She's in 9th grade, one of our cheerleaders here.
Hey, Kayla, I was a cheerleader at Bailey when I was in high school. Okay, what you got?
Yes. How do you deal with clients that stress you out?
I don't. Simple as that. I don't. I promise you, I don't do well with stress. I'm not going to be good for you. If I'm stressed, I'm not going to let you stress me out. You can, if I don't work for you, or if you don't work for me, let's just part ways. I don't. And I promise you, I wish and I'm not lying, I have walked away from, because like I told you, Misha taught us, don't service the commission, service the client. So because of the relationship of, let me use my words right, because of the relationship of this person, we had a relationship. So to keep from severing the relationship and it being bad intention, I just walked away. And I was like, no, this is not going to work. Because at the end of the day, we're going to have a personal relationship aside from the professional. So the deal, it was bad. We weren't going to work for each other. But no, I don't let them stress me out. I can't be stressed.
I'm with you on that. This is Michaela Davis. She's a junior, and she asked, what is the hardest part of showing a home to a client?
The hardest part, I don't know. That's a good one. The hardest part, one thing is hard when they want to see them and they're not accommodating, but I can even accommodate them. I have some like whose jobs, their jobs don't allow them to be flexible. So I do a lot of recording and send them to them because once again, when you do that buyer's consultation, I've already known in the beginning some things that I must have. So this particular client, he works a lot of weird hours, I'll say. So a lot of days I just get out there riding and I look, and then because he'll be sending me stuff and I'll be like, but I thought you said, and once again I have to say, now are you just interested in looking because you initially said you wanted something with this, that, and the third. So sometimes our conflict, our calendars conflict with each other, our timing don't coincide, and that's when I just get out and I go to ride, and never help eliminate. And then he'll be like, oh yeah, I don't like that one because I don't see that they have X, Y, and Z, and I make him remember because you said you wanted this. I said, well, if you wanted acreage or you wanted something that wasn't so close together, this ain't the one you want. So,
yeah, that's a good point too, because I remember when I was growing up, our mom would pick us up from school and then she'd be gone to go because somebody couldn't get off work and she had to show after they got off. So that is, I mean, she was able to pick us up, but that is also something where, if you want to have a family, that's something they're going to have to understand.
Yeah, they have to. And another thing that makes the challenge is not telling you ahead. That's why I like to let them know, because although I'm constantly sending my clients emails because I put them in our email list, I set them up on automated email. So they're going to get the email as soon as things hit, according to the criteria, the things they told me that they want. So, but they're going to also be looking on other places, these third-party sites. So, so that's why I like to remind them. I said, well, now you wanted this and that and that. This house don't have it. So that's why, I like to say, now look, if this is not what you want, let's not even waste our time going to look at it. Let's hone in and remember, this is what you wanted. So let's get on one accord, and we end up finding what they want when I remind them that you said you wanted this. Don't compromise just for the sake of something else,
I just got two more from the students. This is Jarvis Lyles. He's in 9th grade. And he asked, what is the process of someone buying a home?
Okay, so we start out getting pre-approved. We need to get pre-approved. You want to be pre-approved, Jarvis, before you go shopping. So that's the first thing, having your credit up to par. And if you don't, you don't know, that's why doing the buyer's consultation is good. So if you don't know if your credit is up to par, then we send you to a lender, or we review some things on your credit so that we'll see if you're ready to purchase. But the first thing is getting pre-approved. A lot of people think the process starts with finding a home first, and it don't work that way. You need to be, the process starts with being pre-approved. Just, the truth of the matter is you're going to have to be approved. You got to know the funding is going to be there so that you could purchase this home. So the very first thing is getting pre-approved. Once we get pre-approved and you get all your documents into the lender and they tell us what you're approved for, then that's when we'll start shopping. So the first thing I do is a buyer's consultation. When I go over the things, and I send my clients form, a packet that we have is telling them all about me on the buyer side. I have one for the listing side as well, but just introducing them to me, because like I say, once again, I want to thank them for choosing me and to let them know what services they're going to get from me, as well as my brokerage. Because when you hire me, you're not just hiring me, you're hiring community first. We are a team. We all work together. So that's the first step, the buyer's consultation. And then we get you sent to the lender. Once we see that you're ready, then we'll start shopping. After we find something, we go under contract. And then that's when you'll be required to pay what's called the earnest money. That lets the sellers know that, hey, I'm serious. I'm serious. I want your home. Here's the money I'm putting down in good faith to show you. I want you to take your home off the market. I want to be the one to get this home.
Yeah.
Then from there is some other things that go in place. You're going to have to you're going to get a home inspection. You're going to have a home appraisal. It's a lot of things that are working. It's a lot of moving parts that are going on. And at some point, I'm going to seem like I'm out of it, because it's going to be more of the lender doing the things they have to do, getting the documents in place, getting some things ordered, title searches and ordering appraisal and all that thing. And then on average, in about 30 days, really less. I've closed some in as short as 2 weeks, but then we end up at the closing table. Yeah. If you have all your documents, yeah. I love that lender. Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned the home inspection. Like, I think you're absolutely out of your mind if you purchase a home without because that's where people take advantage of people and expect them to not do that, and then you're stuck with all sorts of costly issues because you didn't get a home inspection.
Because you didn't get a home inspection, yeah, that's a lifesaver. Just get it. It's better to have it and to know these things are going on. Even if you get it, and even if you get your home inspection back and all of these things are not addressed at the forefront, and you maybe say, oh, that's some things, that's not a deal breaker. I could do that once I'm in the home. Getting a home inspection is a must.
Absolutely.
Because you want to know what you're up against.
Oh, absolutely. I've got one more. This is Lakeria Jackson. She's one of our band members, great clarinet player. And she asked, if I wanted to get real estate, what would be the best advice you would give me?
Always be a good listener. Always be teachable. Because like I said earlier, you don't know what you don't know. So being a good agent means listening to people, listening more than you talk, listening to what your clients want, and providing a good service, being a good listener, providing a good service to them, being available. Because the truth of the matter, it's a commission-based business and it's a referral-based business. I think I get a lot of my business from referrals, because once you do a good job with these clients, they're going to refer you. They're going to refer you and going to just going to keep being referred. So the biggest thing is being a good listener, providing a good service, to make yourself stand out. And once you become one, being teachable, because like I said, you don't know what you don't know. Things are always changing. The market's always changing. Stuff is changing. It's always something to learn. I was just up last night working on getting a new credential, because you always want to be able to set yourself apart, learn some knowledge that the agent beside you may not be interested in learning. You want to set yourself apart, and you want to be able to give your clients something extra to let them know, wow, I made a good choice in choosing Jameikia.
Yeah, and they always say that you need the customer more than the customer needs you.
Needs you. That's right. You sure do.
Now we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
I'm glad you all had me. I was glad when you reached out to me. I did this last year I did career day last year for a school, one of JPS schools, and they actually called me. They're having it today, but I had already obligated myself to you all. So I hope I left you with a nugget that could be helpful.
And but before we go, tell us where to find you online, because parents are looking for a home.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Jameikia Mosley, or my business page is Jameikia Mosley, Community First. It will say Jameikia Mosley Realtor, Community First. My number is 601-497-2315, or if you if you forget that, just call the office, 601-956-6567. On Instagram, I'm your homegirl 2021. So you probably can remember that. I don't know if you can see my shirt. It says, your homegirls. So I'm easy to find, but if you forget all that, just remember Community First Real Estate, and you'll see me. You'll see us all. You'll see my name pop up.
That's yourcommunityfirst.net for Community First Real Estate there in Ridgeland.
Okay. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Jameikia Mosley from Community First Real Estate.
Thank you for having me.
Salesperson extraordinaire there. So, and cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist. Thank you, class.
I think we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah.